Tropicana Field, the site for the opener for the Rays and the Yankees in the 2012 season. April 6, 2012. Not that long away, or not that far away from September 28, 2011, when the Rays pulled off a miraculous come-from-behind victory against these same Yankees, down 7-0 going into the 8th inning, scoring 8 runs while the Red Sox were losing to Baltimore around the same time. And because of that, the American League 2011 wild card banner is now being raised to the catwalks. It'll be the 3rd postseason banner in Rays history. 3 of the last 4 years for a team that did not win more than 70 games in their first 10 seasons of baseball. And there couldn't be a more fitting group to get that banner rolling than the training staff. Ron Porterfield, head athletic trainer, Paul Harker, Mark Vinson, the assistant athletic trainers. Harker has been here 7 years, Vincent 2 years, and Kevin Barr, the strength and conditioning coach, also getting that banner rolling along with Nate Leeds. So there you go, the 2011 wild card banner heading to the top. And for some of these players, the first time they have seen a banner being raised right alongside the AL East banners from 2010 and 2008. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson next.
Now the 0-1 to Lowry on its way. Swinging a ground ball to second. This should do it. Hockey has it. Takes it to second himself. This improbable season has another chapter to it. The Rays are going to the World Series.
We proved that 9 equals 8. In 2010, there were expectations.
The Rays ready to celebrate. So are the fans. The 1-2. He got it. Jones strikes out, and the Rays are going to the postseason for the second time in franchise history.
In 2011, we would have to find another way. Hitting a walk-off home run on the season's last day to reach the postseason.
2-2, line shot down the left field line. That ball, it's gone, and the Rays win it.
What will happen this season?
Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. With the memory of game 162 still fresh in our minds, this afternoon we start a new journey of 162 games in the regular season as we begin 2012. The Tampa Bay Rays meet the New York Yankees. Hi again, everyone. Welcome inside Tropicana Field with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. So good to have you with us. Well, the Rays have increased expectations, and if they're to fulfill those dreams, BA, they're going to have an MVP year from Evan Longoria.
Evan Longoria is the leader of this team, and if the Rays have aspirations of playing deep into October, they are going to need a complete season from Evan. We all know what he can do defensively. Not many third basemen in the game can make all the plays like Evan can. Offensively, if you're Evan Longoria, you're thinking pick up where you left off. You look at his season last year, 31 home runs, 17 of those 31 home runs and 46 of the 99 RBIs came in the month of August and September, when it was crunch time for this Rays team. So here you are, opening day, Evan Longoria, he's happy, he's healthy, and he is raring to go.
Madden has said he is a guy who does not run away from the moment, and if things go as planned, there will be plenty of moments to embrace this year for Evan Longoria and for the Rays. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. New York will lead off with Derek Jeter. Curtis Granderson will hit second, followed by Robinson Cano. Alex Rodriguez, the cleanup man, hitting in front of Mark Teixeira and Nick Swisher. Raul Ibanez is the DH with Russell Martin behind the plate. Brett Gardner, the left fielder, will hit ninth. James Shields on the hill for the Rays, and today's first pitch presented by Pena. Shields, a 16-game winner last year, and the first pitch of this season is a ball just a bit down and in. Shields, the model of consistency in 2011 for the Rays, leading the major leagues with 11 complete games. Jeter fouls it away, and the count 1-1.
And that was coming off of 2 seasons of not having any complete games. Really had a career year in so many different categories. Mechanical adjustment paid off for 6 months.
Rays in their 15th opening day game. They've divided the first 14 right down the middle, 7-7. A pitch close. The changeup taken for ball 2, and it's 2-1. Jeter out in front and over that pitch. Reaching 2-2.
Good 2-1 fastball there by Shields at 92 miles an hour. You saw the sink. Don't usually see James Shields get that kind of movement on the fastball, more the changeup.
And a full count to start this game. Change up there, 2-2 from Shields to run the count full. Here it is. Ball, just a piece of that.
Well, and that was an emergency hack right there by Derek Jeter. Not really sure what James Shields going to come with. You got to respect the fastball because he can get it low to mid-90s. You also have that changeup in the back of your mind, and you saw a very defensive swing there by Jeter, caught in between.
Jeter, lifetime, hitting over 300 against Shields. 3-2 again. And a base hit punch right back through the middle off a fastball. So Jeter is aboard. Hard to imagine coming off last year, Brian, that Shields only won 16 games.
Yeah, really incredible. I mean, 249 in the third innings, all career highs with the strikeouts, 4 shutouts, the 11 complete games. Only had 16 for his career, 11 coming last year, 1/3 of his starts. He was just an absolute animal. I also kept the ball on the ground better than he ever had and controlled the running game, something that you're going to see when you have a matchup like this, Shields-Sabathia. These managers will look to get creative on the base paths, but you got 2 tough customers and maybe no righty in the league better at controlling the running game than James Shields.
Well, here is Curtis Granderson, a very big part of this New York offense, particularly in their home ballpark, and he takes a strike. Granderson, 41 home runs last year, and boy, did he take advantage of right field at Yankee Stadium in New York. One ball, 1 strike.
Now, he made a little bit of an adjustment in his batting stance, widened his legs out a little bit to try to give himself a little bit more leverage, be a little quieter through the swing. And you're right, 41 home runs, and we really saw him turn around some high-octane fastballs.
And a cut and a miss. Well, Shields, through his career against Granderson, has used the changeup, and we see one here.
I mean, look at that, just bottom out. I mean, Curtis Granderson did a nice job of staying quiet during that swing, but Shields sells that changeup so well.
And he's used it to his advantage against Granderson, who goes 3 out of 43 lifetime against Shields. A little piece of that one, another changeup. Still 1-2.
Well, that's the key with James Shields also is quality pitches early in the count, early in an at-bat, because these hitters know about his changeup. They don't want to get to it. He's deadly with it late in the count, so they're going to look to jump him early, and that's why he's got to be quality early on.
And a tap foul. Holds the count at a ball and 2 strikes, and Shields staying right with the changeup to Granderson.
You got to make him prove to you that he can handle it.
And again, a little piece of it foul. So Shields staying with his strength, and Granderson holding the count at 1-2 with these repeated foul balls. Shields tried to slip a fastball on the corner.
Yeah, and a good idea here too, coming in. That ball, that could have gone either way. Not the Rays way.
And a foul ball one more time. So in the middle of a string of changeups, and we just saw another one there, that fastball was a great idea, particularly with Joe West behind the plate. He's a guy who's been around. He was a major league umpire when he was 23 years old in 1976, and he will widen the plate a little bit. 2-2 the count. Jeter back in.
I also like the idea of him coming in. You know, obviously Granderson knows that the changeup's given him problems, so against Shields, he's looking for something out over the plate where he can extend his arms. So if you are going to throw the fastball to a good fastball hitter, try to surprise him inside.
That's going to be handled by Rodriguez. He gets the out at second and the throw to first to complete the double play. And there's that famed defensive alignment for the Rays. Boy, they do that better than maybe any team in baseball. And they had Rodriguez shifted up the middle right there.
Well, there's Rodriguez. They've got the shift. Boy, does it pay dividends early for the Rays, because this ball was rocketed, but right at him becomes an easy turn. I'll tell you what, too, if you are going to run those shifts, you have to trust your pitching staff to make the pitches you want them to make. So when you pull those guys over, that's great, but the pitches have to be executed. That one was hit hard. That was not executed like James Shields wanted. However, right into the shift it goes.
Yeah, and the point you make is right on. That's a great point. People talk about the shift, and you sometimes overlook the command that your staff needs to have to make it all work together. Here's Cano, foul the other way.
Now let's take a look at the Rays defense real quick before this inning runs out of time. Left to right in the outfield, Matt Joyce, Desmond Jennings, and Ben Zobrist. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Sean Rodriguez, Elliot Johnson, and Carlos Pena. Jose Molina gets the call behind the plate here on opening day.
Base is now empty with 2 outs on the double play. A strike the count to Robinson Cano. This New York lineup filled with tough outs. It's 1-1.
They really make you work the count. You know, the best way I've heard them described as a lineup, and this goes back, you know, the last 8-10 years, is take and rake, and that's what they do. They work deep into the count, force you to make a mistake as a pitcher, and then they don't miss it.
There's a strike, and you know, that's something the Yankees have been doing since the early to mid 90s. They had some lean years at closing out the 80s and the early 90s, and when Buck Showalter took over, this team started to really work counts, and they do that as well as any lineup. Chop right side. This is Pena. Shields covers, and that takes care of New York in the top of the first. They do not score, and the Rays are coming in to hit. In the hit for the very first time in the new season. This is the way Joe Madden lines him up. Desmond Jennings with Upton out of the lineup on the DL. Jennings leads off and plays center in front of Ben Zobrist and Evan Longoria. And Jeff Keppinger, for the first time ever in his career, is hitting cleanup. He is the DH. Sean Rodriguez follows him in front of Carlos Pena. Elliot Johnson in there hitting seventh in front of Jose Molina, and then Matt Joyce.
Taking the mound this afternoon for the New York Yankees. Who else? CC Sabathia, to see the numbers from last year. 4th year with the Yankees, 4th opening day start for the Yankees, his 9th overall. He is used to this moment.
Here's Desmond. Jennings takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Yeah, Sabathia in his time in the major leagues has been a workhorse, and he has continued that in a New York uniform. A little bit wide. 1-1. '19-game winner last year for the Yankees. Jennings. A ball and 2 strikes. Rays have had some success against Sabathia since he joined New York. Although the last time they faced him in September of last year, he pitched a pretty good game against him. They had a couple solo home runs off him and had a chance to get him early, as I recall, in that game about the 2nd inning, and he got out of that and settled in and pitched well. There's ball 3, and a guy of the quality of Sabathia, if you get a chance to get him, you'd better do it.
Yeah, because once he figures it out, his tires may wobble early on, but if he straightens them out, he is tough, and he pitches deep into games. All of his starts against the Rays last year into the 8th at least.
And there's a walk to start it. Well, a leadoff pass drawn by Desmond Jennings.
Now let's take a look at the Yankee defense as it lines up this afternoon. Left to right in the outfield, Brett Gardner, Curtis Granderson, and Nick Swisher across the infield. Third to first, Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, and Mark Teixeira. Russell Martin will be behind the plate.
Now Ben Zobrist starts the day in right field. Ben coming off a 20 home run season, 91 runs batted in a year ago. And a shot to center field. Granderson going back. He reaches up to make the catch. And retreating to first is Jennings. Well, Zobrist made a bid to get it over Granderson's head, and a nice play retreating there by Granderson.
Yeah, he went back on that ball well. Ben Zobrist coming out aggressive after the leadoff walk. Knows Sabathia wants to get back in the zone. But Granderson tracks that ball down. Sometimes those are the toughest ones, too. The line drives right at you, but a nice job by Granderson.
Yeah, any moment where your concentration falters or you make one slight move the wrong way and you're in trouble. And Granderson played it well. Now Evan Longoria takes the fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
And you saw on that pitch there, CC Sabathia with the slide step to home plate, one way that he tries to combat the running game that he knows the Rays love to employ.
Pitch drops low. 2 balls, no strikes. Evan with 4 career home runs, 10 out of 30 lifetime against this left-hander. Through the hole. Gardner up with it in left, and the Rays put 2 aboard here in the first. Well, here's the opportunity early for the Rays that we spoke of just a moment ago.
Now just a fastball, wants it away. That ball stays up and out over the plate. Evan Longoria, just a nice smooth swing and hammers that ball in the hole. Rays with runners here at first and second with just 1 out.
And what a first at bat for Jeff Keppinger, hitting cleanup for the first time in his career. Split last season between Houston and San Francisco. And the Rays got him because he has been so good throughout his career against left-handed pitching, over 300. And he can play almost anywhere.
Fits right in.
Yes, he does. A step back by Sabathia, keeping an eye on Jennings as Cano shaded toward the bag at second. Want to know, Keppinger throughout his career, if you put his slugging and on-base percentage together against lefties, it's over 850. Great speed at second. Zobrist aboard at first. That's a strike. 1-1. And Keppinger has faced Sabathia before over in the National League, and he is 6 of 14 against him, although Joe Madden says that's not why he has him hitting cleanup. He just wanted a good contact guy behind Longoria. But I'm going to tell you, 6 out of 14 against this guy didn't hurt. Runners go. A little tap to deep short. Jeter's throw a little wide and keeping his foot on the bag to Shara. So Jennings goes to third with Longoria moving into second.
Well, the Rays getting a little action here. Desmond gets going. You see Alex Rodriguez going to cover third. Derek Jeter's got to retreat into the hole. And Mark Teixeira, who's so good down at first base, takes this wide throw. Makes it look easy.
Well, Sean Rodriguez is going to be the hitter, and we mentioned the outing that Sabathia had against the Rays in September when he limited them to a couple of runs, 2 home runs in that game, and 1 was hit by Sean Rodriguez. And the Yankees are going to walk him intentionally here with the left-handed bat of Carlos Pena due next. So with first base open and Pena's left-handed bat, Sabathia and the Yankees would rather go that way, and the matchup has been very good for Sabathia against Pena throughout his career. In fact, it's 4 for 35 with 19 strikeouts.
All it takes is one mistake. Nice welcome back moment here for Carlos Pena.
That's exactly right. Pena, during the pregame introductions, got a rousing ovation upon his return. You can see his career with the Rays, 144 home runs. And the Rays fans are already standing as he is announced in his first plate appearance in the 2012 season.
Now these are the types of situations that Carlos was brought back for, to be a run producer. And here he gets an opportunity coming back to Tampa. Bases loaded, 2 outs against Sabathia. Big moment here early on, big opportunity.
Well, he did not have good numbers in the spring, but Madden was saying he really liked where he was at the end of spring training. Thought he was swinging the bat and having very good at bats. And he takes ball 1. Those numbers from his foray into the National League with the Cubs last year, 28 home runs. And the pitch away, Jennings had started down the line at third base with Rodriguez off the bag, and Jennings just trying to be a distraction over there. Pena ahead in the count. Here it is. And he takes a strike. Fastball in around 94.
I'll tell you something else with Desmond Jennings as we look at this fastball from Sabathia. Wants that ball away, and once again missed his location. 2-0. Carlos takes it. Still has the count in his favor, but you'll see Desmond Jennings taking off like that, trying to time that pitcher up. Maybe not for anything in this situation, maybe for something down the road or even later in the year.
Pitch away. So we go to 3-1. You know, in the last outing of the spring for Sabathia, he did fight himself with his command of the fastball. So 3-1 here, bases loaded.
He does not look comfortable mechanically. It looks like his body, he's a big pitcher, 6'7", 290 pounds. It seems like he's drifting, heading a little bit towards third base, and sometimes he's pulling that fastball with him.
3-1, and it's foul.
You know, we've seen him kind of drifting over there towards third base and leaving some balls up and out over the plate, and then also taking some fastballs with him. He's just a hair off mechanically.
So it's a 3-2 count now all the way out to Pena with the bases loaded, 2 gone. Rays with a great opportunity. Can they cash in? Three-two. And a drive! High and deep to right! Welcome back, Carlos Pena! Grand slam home run for Pena! The Rays cash in a big way. 4-0. Electrifies this Rays crowd. A grand slam home run. And a strike to Elliott Johnson and a curtain call for Pena. Why not? There was no doubt. Swing and a miss. When Pena decided to sign with the Rays, he told his agent Scott Boras on the phone. Boras called him and said, "What are you going to do?" He says, "I'm going home." Well, the Rays crowd are happy he's back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chopper, left side, grabbed by Rodriguez, throw to first, close, and they just get Johnson to retire the side. Carlos Pena comes through on a 3-2 pitch, bases loaded, he hits it out, and the Rays lead 4-0. Grand slam, and the Rays lead 4-0 as Alex Rodriguez takes a fastball for a strike, and we're underway here in the second inning. 1-1. Rodriguez, Teixeira, and Swisher due up for New York. Shot to center field. Jennings on the move, can't get there. That's going to be an extra base hit for A-Rod, who's in at second with a stand-up double.
As you take a look at this grand slam by Carlos Pena, CC Sabathia fighting his fastball command early in this ball game. Kind of drifting a little bit. Can't find the consistent release point, pulling some with him, leaving some out over. Pena had seen a bunch of that at bat, and he got the one mistake and drove it out of the ballpark for a big early lead for the Rays. It'll be something to keep an eye on to see if Sabathia is able to find it.
And now Teixeira's hit by the pitch. Following the Rodriguez double on the very next pitch, Teixeira hit.
Well, let's see right here. This ball looked like it had some cutting action. Yeah, look at that. They take off. Get Teixeira right in the thigh. And like you said, Dwayne, that comes after the double by Alex Rodriguez. A pitch that looked like it got in on him. It forced him to pull his hands through. And that shows you how strong Rodriguez is, because he was still able to get that ball deep out into left center field. Now the Yankees mount a little rally.
There's Nick Swisher. Strike one. He was out in front of the changeup. You know, through all of the trouble that Pena had against the left-hander Sabathia, and we mentioned the numbers when they walked Rodriguez to get to him. He was 4 for 35. He's now 5 for 36, and 3 of those hits have been home runs. That'll take the count to 1-2. So the Rays with an early lead. Shields gave up the base hit in the first, got a double play ball, and then another ground ball to end that one. Tap right side. Pena's going to go to first with it. The runners advance.
Well, that's frustrating for James Shields. He gets the rollover that he's looking for, and instead of getting the opportunity for a double play, it wasn't hit hard enough. You see he's disgusted right there. It ends up being basically, a bunt, a sacrifice bunt by Swisher. Get the runners over to second and third now with less than 2 outs. Well, you make the pitch that you want, you get the rollover, dying for that double play, then one more pitch you can get out of this inning, and instead Yankees with a good scoring opportunity.
And they have Raul Ibanez, who spent last year with the Phillies, in to fill that left-handed DH role. Ground ball right side. Elliott Johnson picks it up and the flip to first. Rodriguez crosses the plate. So the advance on the ground ball by Swisher is converted into a run on another ground ball by Ibanez, and it's 4-1.
Now this ball, cutter here by Shields. Ball comes right in, gets onto the label of Ibanez, and just a routine ground ball.
Here's Russell Martin, the veteran catcher. Martin at 237 last year, but with 18 home runs. His first year with New York after spending his career with the Dodgers. One and 0 the count. Pitch is inside. 2-0. That's going to be a strike. Off speed. Change up.
Good changeup by Shields, and Jose Molina with the nice receiving right there, getting that ball right at the bottom of the zone, getting the call from Joe West. I think that's something over the course of the season you're going to see a lot of.
And now it's 3 balls and a strike.
I'd like to take a look at that pitch again because that looked pretty good.
That's a strike. 3-1 fastball. Full count. And it's ball 4, gets away. Here comes a man down from third, and he scores. Teixeira comes home from third, and the Yankees get a gift run to make it 4-2.
Well, trying to come with a put-away pitch. This ball in the dirt. Jose Molina tries to backhand that. Well, that's a pitch that you got to keep in front of you.
It's going to go as a wild pitch, but you're right with the shifting and down in front.
That's right.
You can keep that ball from going through.
That's absolutely right. You drop down, good technique from a catcher, and that may be ball 4, but you're going to save a run and keep that ball in front of you. That one off the end of the glove. That's why you don't try to backhand and reach as a catcher.
There's Brett Gardner, and he takes a strike.
You see no shift of the weight. He just tries to reach and backhand that ball. Ball's got some action on it. It's moving quick, over 90 miles an hour. Tough one to come up with cleanly, and it cost the Rays a run.
Yeah, you don't want to give the Yankees a run when you don't have to. Shot the other way, and a base hit into left. Martin stops at second.
Now, both of these pitchers right now just a little bit out of sync. We've seen James Shields hooking up with CC Sabathia before, just carving up the lineups. A little bit deeper counts. That ball up in the zone, you see that right at the letters of Gardner. He does what he's supposed to do with that pitch, take it the other way. One of those guys willing to use the whole field, and it's going to be whatever pitcher settles down first and finds it. Give his team the best chance to win.
Yeah, and right now the Rays with a 2-run lead. You'd love to see them stop this right here. Today's Rays game presented in high definition, brought to you by H.H. Gregg. So before Shields faces Jeter, Jim Hickey out there to spend some time with his veteran right-hander.
You know, and you can certainly understand it's all about when you're starting opening day as a pitcher, controlling your emotions. You're going to be geeked up, jacked up, ready to go, facing your division rival, whether it's Sabathia or Shields. But you got to find a way to manage that, control it, get into the flow of the game.
Jeter singled his first time. The pitch is low. Jeter worked the full count in the first before he singled into center. Shields made 20 pitches in the first. This will be his 20th pitch here in the second inning. And he's behind 3-0.
Well, usually a workload, your first start of the season is a little bit obviously going to be less than what you're allowed to run with as the season progresses. So James Shields building it up.
Jeter walks. A 4-pitch walk. And now the Yankees have him loaded.
This fastball here close, just a little bit below the zone. And Joe West, you know, Dwayne, you talked about how long he's been in the game. He will widen that strike zone if you're consistently hitting your spots. These pitchers right now falling behind early. They're not very sharp, so you will not be getting any favors from Joe West.
Yeah, he'll work with you if you show him the inclination to throw strikes consistently and hit your spots. And there's the first pitch strike on a curveball.
Finally introduced that pitch that was so big for James Shields last year. Really kept teams from being aggressive on him early in the count. He was able to mix that in, became an effective weapon.
And a cut and a miss. They followed the curve with a changeup. That's been a great pitch for him against Granderson.
And you see it bottom out again. That's the James Shields A+ changeup.
And he got it. Granderson strikes out, got him with a change. Yankees leave him loaded. Rays lead 4-2. Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. From Tropicana Field, the Rays opening with this series against the New York Yankees. New York in tomorrow night and then Sunday afternoon. 4-2, the Rays lead on the grand slam by Carlos Pena. Now Jose Molina leads off against Sabathia. And he takes the pitch for a ball. Cut and a miss on a fastball up.
By the way, you're right. I mean, that was really
1-1. Six-year-old catcher Jose Molina. Molina got into 55 games last year in Toronto for the Blue Jays. He had 281. Ground ball. That's A-Rod with a lot of time. And so Molina's out of there, third to first. With us more this year and in charge of our social media, Laura McKeeman. Laura, nice to see you.
Thank you, Dwayne. It's nice to see you, too. And yes, we are gearing up our social media this year. We'll have much more of it, so make sure you follow us. It's at Sun Sports Rays, and log on to Fox Sports Florida. Click on the Game Connect page right there on your front page. You can get your tweets, you can get your stats, your scores, and of course, you can interact with the broadcast team and have some of their wisdom imparted on you. Now, we're going to be doing this all season, so we want you to get involved. And Dwayne and BA, I heard you guys are going to start tweeting. Is that true?
You know, you have great credibility, but when you started talking about our wisdom, you're stretching your credibility there a little bit. One strike count. That's inside.
I tuned out. I tuned out at that point.
Yeah. Wisdom? What wisdom? What? Be worried? So Joyce hitting out of the ninth spot here against the lefty. And it's inside. 2 balls and a strike. Breaking ball, and he missed. So the count is now 3-1. Full count.
Just a 3-1 breaking ball, catches a lot of plate. Matt Joyce looking for something straight.
And he is out on strikes. Still looking for something straight.
Well, Matt Joyce still has that mindset of a guy in the middle of the order. 3-1 count, looking to drive a fastball, gets a breaking ball to get the 3-2. And then another one to finish him off. You see the transfer of weight just a tad early. Swing was off.
Desmond Jennings walked his first time up there against CC Sabathia. And Sabathia drops a strike in there.
You know, much like James Shields, trying to find a pitch that works, try to get himself mechanically right again. We talked about his struggles with the fastball early on. Not going to that breaking ball.
That's foul. 0-2.
You know, one thing that the breaking ball will do, a lot of times, especially when we talked about the emotions of an opening day or a big situation, the fastball, you tend to want to jump out there and rush with it. The breaking ball, your mind is telling you, you got to stay back behind that ball, let your hand out front, do the work. And sometimes that can click something to get you back in line with your fastball.
Upstairs, he got ahead of him with the breaking stuff, missed up with the fastball.
And that was on purpose. That's where CC Sabathia, when he gets ahead of hitters, whether it be right or left, he will put you away. If you're a right-handed hitter, either with the slider, back foot, or he likes to use the fastball up above the zone. That was on purpose.
And another foul ball. This one in front of Foley. So it's still 1-2. Yeah, those left-handers are tricky. They'll try to get you to chase pitches out of the strike zone, won't they?
Yeah, and when you're down 0-2, 1-2, and you know the stuff that Sabathia has, you got to protect against that fastball, the breaking ball, and he throws one up near your eyes, and with 2 strikes, looks big, I got to fight this off. You can't catch up to it.
Jennings pops it out of play, foul. Desmond at 259 after coming to the big leagues last year. And in that partial season at 10 home runs with 20 stolen bases. A lot of promise in those numbers after showing a lot of promise through the minor leagues. It's 2-2. Well, both these pitchers have made a lot of pitches in the first couple innings. And right back at Sabathia. He knocks it down. The pickup and the throw is in time. And Jennings is out pitcher first. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We've completed 2. Shields and Sabathia. And the Rays lead 4-2. And Cano leads off with the Rays on top 4-2. James Shields on the hill, and this one chopped back through the middle and right over his glove into center. One pitch and Cano is aboard. Let's check in with Todd Callis. Todd, what's up?
Hey, Dwayne, good to see you again.
Good to see you as always.
You know, James Shields now is the old man. He's 30 years old. That doesn't happen where a starting pitcher for the Rays pitches after the age of 29. In fact, he's breaking a streak. The Rays had gone 896 consecutive starts with a pitcher under 30 making that start. The Washington Senators had that same streak that was broken by the Rays, and their streak was 704. That was broken on opening day 1918 when Walter Big Train Johnson turned 30 in the offseason and broke that streak for the Senators. Now James Big Game Shields breaks the streak for the Rays, guys.
And A-Rod jumps on one, shoots it into left center. Cano is going to go to third, and just like that, on back-to-back pitches, the Yankees have a threat.
Well, what we talked about early in the ball game, James Shields needs to be quality with his pitches early in the count because these teams will look to jump him. This Yankee lineup is sitting in that dugout, and they're seeing that James Shields right now is not sharp. They don't want to let him get deep into the count the way they have to mess with the changeup, so they are jumping him early. A couple of balls out over the plate, a couple of base hits for the Yankees, and another threat.
And now he has his work cut out for him. Here is Mark Teixeira. You see Teixeira better if you put runners on. Run producers frequently are. 1 ball, no strikes. Take a look at those numbers from a year ago. With the bases empty, 215, but 289 with runners on base. Rays have the infield shifted. 2-0.
And not nearly as dramatic as they normally do. You see, as they come around, a lot of times the second baseman right here, Elliott Johnson, is going to be back into shallow right field with the runner on. He's usually back in this area, but with the runner on third base, potential double play in order.
And a popper, short left. Rodriguez out, and Sean makes the catch. A very big out, and the right kind of out there.
huge out. Got Teixeira out in front. Gets what basically it amounts to an infield pop-up. And now with Nick Swisher coming up here, they're going to roll that shift over again on him. But you got the opportunity, a ground ball in the right spot. You can get out of this inning with no damage.
Rodriguez directly back of the second base bag. Swisher grounded to first his first time. Now Sean takes a couple steps to his left. And Swisher fouls the fastball. One strike the count.
But hitters are stubborn too. Even with the shift like that, a lot of them are not going to change their approach. They say, listen, this is what makes me successful. I'm going to go with it. In this kind of a situation here with Carlos Pena over holding Rodriguez on over at first base, you still have that hole on the right side.
And nothing doing out of that. Rays have out-hit New York, or they've been out-hit by New York 5-2, and the Rays have outscored them 4-2. All of the runs on the Pena grand slam. A ball and 2 strikes, and Swisher hurt his right hand, maybe his wrist, swinging at that pitch.
Yeah, awkward swing, and that's what that changeup will do. You see how far out in front he just lets the bat go. He's geared up for heater. Pitch can make you look foolish.
Shields ahead in the count. Ground ball right side. Pena will come to the plate. It's a tag play. Safe. He missed the tag. Cano scores. Rodriguez moves to second. Pena decided to come to the plate. And Cano coming down the line got away from the tag attempt by Molina.
You see right here on contact. Robinson Cano is going. Then he takes the slide wide, reaching back with that left hand, getting away from Molina. Nice scoop right there, but at that point, Cano was already by him.
So it's a fielder's choice and a run batted in. And now it's 4-3. First and second. Here's Ibanez. And a pickoff play at second. A-Rod back in with Sean Rodriguez slipping in. He's already positioned behind the bag. 13 pickoffs for Shields a year ago to lead the majors. And he tried one here.
Well, set up beautifully because of the positioning, like you said, Dwayne. Just didn't get him.
Pitch is down to Ibanez, who drove in a run with a ground ball in the second inning. So 2 ground balls and a wild pitch accounting for the New York runs. And this one blocked and then bouncing away, ricocheting off the hitter Ibanez. 2 balls, no strikes. Ibanez takes this one down, and Shields is behind. Another look at this pitch.
Well, 2-0. Raul Ibanez is not going to go after a borderline pitch with the count that far in his favor.
And he takes the fastball. 3-1. 1 out, a run home. Runners at first and second. We're in the top of the third. And a long one to and we'll get out of here. 3-1 pitch. Ibanez turns a fastball around, and New York takes the lead. Ibanez picks up his first hit in a New York uniform, and it's a 3-run home run.
Well, 3-1 fastball, just about in the same spot as the 3-0 fastball. Ibanez had a good look at this the pitch before. Well, he takes a nice short compact swing to that ball and crushes it.
So now the Rays are down by 2. And the pitch to Martin is inside.
Well, you certainly did not see this score maybe for the game, let alone in the 3rd inning with these two guys out on the mound today.
1-1.
They hooked up.
Especially with all the low-scoring games that we've seen in the first few days of the season.
Yeah, well, and you saw them last year in July, a 1-0 and a 2-1 game within about a week and a half of each other.
Yep. 2-1. So I guess if there was any thought that run production was going to be down through the first couple days, this might put a little different light on it. 2-2 now. And a tapper right side. Shields will get the tag. Martin trying to put an evasive move on Shields, running out of that runner's lane, and Shields tagged him. 2 gone. Well, the Yankees are in town. The Rays have the cure. More cowbell, and this Sunday the first 10,000 youngsters 14 and under receive a Raymond cowbell presented by Chick-fil-A as part of Family Fun Days presented by the Tampa Bay Times. To purchase your seats, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. There are tickets still available for Sunday. Tomorrow night's a sellout. First pitch to Brett Gardner is a strike. Two gone here. And a liner down to third off the glove of Longoria. Lost that when he was all set to make a catch on that one. A little leap down there, and he appeared to lose it all of a sudden. You can see by his reaction.
Well, watch, the jump is a little bit mistimed. You see he's already up there. That's all you got to do, just a little bit out of your rhythm, and instead of that ball going right into the webbing, clanks off the side, and another Yankee reaches base. You will not see that very often from that man right there. Wears gold.
Yeah, they rule out a base hit, but that should have been out number 3.
And Evan would be the first one to tell you that. I mean, that was a softly hit line drive, which is why you saw Evan a little bit off on his jump, expecting something a little bit harder. He just clanked it.
Gardner diving back in. Sam Holbrook on the call at first.
Quick right here. Shields so good. Quick with his feet, accurate with his throws.
Gardner bluffing a little start, but draws another peg. Chop right side. Handled by Johnson. So Jeter's out of there, and that retires the side, but it's 6-4 New York, mid-3.
Pena's answers with a 3-run homer to give the Yankees the lead. And this is the Florida Health Plan scouting report for the Rays this year. Very simply put, the Rays starters have to maintain status quo. Pitch to their potential, they'll be fine. We know that they can play defense, not only flash the leather, but how much ground they cover. The question for this team is going to be the offense. So far, so good. 4 runs in the early going here. But that offense over the course of the season is going to have to be consistent and efficient for this Rays team to challenge.
Well, here's Ben Zobrist to lead off the bottom of the 3rd, and he takes a breaking ball, curveball from Sabathia for a strike. Both these pitchers have struggled with command, trying to find something that they can throw consistently where they would like it. High pop foul, and that's going to carry out a play. All 4 of the Rays runs coming on the Pena grand slam. The 8th for him overall and his 5th in a Rays uniform. Ben Zobrist also has 5 grand slams in a Rays uniform. He's leading off behind in the count. 2 strikes. Pops this one foul. Longoria next, and then Keppinger. Any deeper, Sean Rodriguez. And it dips low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little slider tilt to it there. Sabathia made 44 pitches through the first 2. And Zobrist is out on strikes. Strikeout number 2 for Sabathia. He came back with a slider there to get him.
Yeah, he likes to go above the zone fastball, back foot slider. So hard for these hitters to lay off of because it looks like the fastball coming out of the hand. They're trying to protect on a pitch that they think is coming in on them, behind in the count. By the time they recognize break, a little bit too late.
Now it's Evan Longoria. This one is down.
That's what we've seen. The adjustment by Sabathia has been to go to more breaking balls because he was not feeling that fastball early.
He started both Zobrist and Longoria with breaking balls, and there's one deep to left. Fastball, and he hit it out. Evan Longoria on a 1-0 pitch makes it a 6-5 ball game. Evan Longoria, who recovered to hit 31 home runs last year, belts one, his 2nd time up in this game, and the Rays are within a run.
Well, 1-0 count here. He does come back with the fastball, doesn't quite get it in far enough, and Evan Longoria is showing how healthy he is coming into this season. That quick bat speed, that strong swing, big home run.
There's Keppinger, and he's out front, swinging and missing. Strike 1.
That's what you want to see out of Evan Longoria, is that strong swing with mean intentions. A lot of times last year, and could have been from the oblique early in the season, we saw him reaching, kind of waving at the ball. That compact, strong swing is what produces the results.
1-1 to count. And now Joe West has spotted something in the background. Oh, I see. Those lights are still blinking, celebrating the home run by Evan Longoria. So they're trying to get those turned off. Yep, Joe West. To make sure Keppinger gets a fair shot. No distractions. 1-1 now. Ground ball, there it is. A base hit up the middle. Jeff Keppinger comes up with a base hit. You turn off those blinking lights and Keppinger has a single. So just like that, the Rays have the potential tying run on base. Rays have it 2 out off Sabathia. Sean Rodriguez. He shoots it into right. It's going to drop for a base hit. Keppinger into second base. Keppinger had to hang on for a moment to see if the ball was going to carry to Swisher. And from his angle at first, a little more difficult than for us up here. So he advances a base on the single the other way by Sean Rodriguez.
Now that ball was off the end of Sean Rodriguez's bat. So it kind of floated out there into right field. Had nice trajectory, but Keppinger wondering if this ball is going to stay up. You see that right off the end of the bat. Kind of flutters out there into right field. He's got to read that. Read the ball and Swisher.
Well, here's Carlos Pena again. 2 men on. 1 out. Carlos worked it to 3-2 and had a fastball up out of here for his 8th career grand slam back in the first. And he takes a big cut and misses. Here's a look at that 3-2 pitch and the home run. No doubt about that one, wouldn't even. His first plate appearance of the year. A strike to count this time around. Got around his feet. 1-1. The Rays got up 4-0. Yankees scored 2 in the second, 4 in the third to take a 6-4 lead. The Rays one of those runs back in the bottom of the third. And a foul ball at the feet of the catcher, Martin. It's 1-2.
Well, after that first pitch slider with the swing and a miss, he tried to come in on Carlos Pena just to have him move his feet, see something close to him to go back out away. That slider hung. Carlos didn't take advantage of it, so look for CC Sabathia at this point to take another pitch further out, further away, and really make Carlos reach for it.
And that's why it's important to come in around his feet, because he got away with a slider that hung. And if he's more comfortable, maybe you don't get away with that pitch.
Absolutely right.
Cut the miss, and he did. He went away with the slider, strikes him out. 2 gone.
That right there shows you why pitching in is so important. Making a hitter move his feet, getting him uncomfortable. He gets away with one slider, comes back with another a little bit further out. You see Carlos out in front and over the top of that.
Yeah, and when you hear people talk about the need to pitch in, that's why. You're not trying to hit guys, but you've got to give yourself a little margin. Down to third. Rodriguez to Cano on the ground ball hit by Elliott Johnson. So the Rays settle for a run on the home run by Evan Longoria. Evan 2 for 2 today with a couple runs scored, and the Rays are down 6-5 through 3. York up by a run, and they'll send Curtis Granderson to the plate. Last year, as we know, Evan Longoria became the second player in Major League Baseball history to hit a walk-off home run to clinch a postseason berth on the season's final day. Who would the other player be? That's our AT&T trivia question. Curtis Granderson takes the pitch for a strike. Shields back out there. Shields had made 65 pitches through the first 3. And the pitch down. So Granderson shorting on the bat. Rays have the shift on for him. Elliott Johnson over in the hole on the right side, and Sean Rodriguez to the first base side of the bag at second. And a ground ball hit right to Sean. That'll take care of Granderson. Well, the second time the shift has paid off. The first time he hit it right to Rodriguez, who turned it into a double play ball.
Method to the madness.
Well, the Rays shift more than anybody. And when you break out what they have done in terms of runs saved and you translate that into wins, the Rays were somewhere in the mid-80s in runs saved. And you figure about 8 runs per win. So that's 8 wins. You know, about 10 runs or 10 outs per win, 10 runs per win. That's a base hit for Cano. So they're somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 extra wins a year because of that differential.
You know, this is just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Dwayne, when you talk about the shifts that they employ, all they're doing is taking spray charts and saying if a guy's hitting 70% of the balls on the ground in this portion of the field, well, I'm going to put more fielders there.
Yep.
It's really not. It's not brain science. I mean, every team has these printouts. Or brain surgery, mind you.
Yeah, well,
maybe I need some.
Well, surgery is a sort of science anyway, so you were on the right track.
Well, look at the shift they have here. A little modified shift on Rodriguez.
Yep.
You very rarely see that with a right-handed hitter.
You know, and this is something we can talk about throughout the year. And there is a little bit of a discussion to be had shifting with runners on. It's one thing to shift with the bases empty, and it's pretty clear that it's a lot more effective that way. The block by Molina, 2-1, and a discussion to be had about using the shift with runners on in certain situations. So that'll be something that we'll try to perfect over late night discussions when we're refueling before we actually bring that to the air. Got to stay hydrated throughout a long season. There is ball 3. Wow. 3-1. Here's the all-time home run list, and Alex Rodriguez right there among the all-time greats. Inside. 2 men on now. That pushes Cano up to second base. Rodriguez on for the 3rd time today, and a lot more base runners than you're accustomed to see with Shields doing the pitching.
Yeah, it just has not been sharp. And you know what we haven't seen out of James Shields, something that was so effective for him last year, is the lack of the curveball. You know, you're talking about in the mid-70s in pitch count so far, and we've seen, I mean, a handful at most, 1 or 2 maybe, of the curveball. That really became a good weapon for him last year.
First pitch to Teixeira is in there for a strike. Yeah, that curveball, you're right. I mean, he threw at least a little over 20% of his pitches were curveballs. That has not been the breakout today.
No, and you know, we talked about what pitcher settles down first, and really neither one of them really has, but Sabathia started to slow things down a little bit when he started to go to the breaking ball. Just tried to switch things up a little bit, buy him some time with his third pitch to hopefully get on track and get into a good rhythm. James Shields still fighting himself out there a little bit.
Pop-up foul. That will carry into the stands. Teixeira is still alive with a 2-strike count. Joe Girardi, the skipper of the New York Yankees. Joe in his 5th year as the manager of the Yankees. Up a little bit. Fastball, and Molina held it there for a moment just in case Joe West wanted to change his mind.
Now James Shields trying to come with that backdoor cutter and just left it off the edge of the plate, trying to get that little bit of extra movement to get the called strikeout.
Just a little piece of that one staying alive. Count still 1-2 to Mark Teixeira. Six 8-0 for New York, 5-5-0 for the Rays. That's a strike. Teixeira caught looking. 2 gone.
Well, after the changeup, coming right back to it. And this one, Molina sticks. And may have been just off, but you know what? You get down to 2 strikes. And I think Teixeira, well, you see him, he read his lips right there. He said, same pitch, Joe, and it certainly did. But we talked about Joe West. You start to hit a particular spot, maybe he gives you an inch or 2.
Swisher fouling 1, strike 1. Yeah, and that's exactly right. If you show some consistency, you're going to get that pitch more than not. And that's just, you know, Joe came up when the umpires were National League umpires and American League umpires. Now they're all together. And the National League umpires had a tendency to be a little more liberal when it came to the strike zone. Tough play, no play. Well, full swing on that changeup, and Swisher just got a little piece of it fair and out in front of the plate, third base side for the infield hit.
Well, 3 at-bats by Swisher. 3 changeups, a couple of ground balls to the right side. This one off the end of the bat. None of them is what James Shields wanted. First one he didn't hit hard enough to turn 2. The second one, Carlos Pena had to come off, make a tough play, tough throw to the plate, didn't get an out, and then right there, the weakest contact of them all, and it's a base hit.
And here's Ibanez with the bases loaded. He takes a pitch down and in. It was Ibanez who hit a 3-1 fastball into the seats and right in the third. That gave New York a 6-4 lead. It's now 6-5. And that hit for Ibanez was his first ever off Shields. He'd gone 0 for 12 against Shields before that home run. Cano at third, he's single. Rodriguez at second, he walked. Swisher at first, he reached on the infield hit. Cut and a miss. Here's that 3-1 fastball in the home run. Two and two.
A heavy workload for Shields, approaching 90 pitches just in the 4th inning. the Yankees making him work. And
ground ball, shortstop. Sean Rod's throw to first to Pena. Ibanez out of there. Yankees leave him loaded for the second time. 6-5 New York. Today brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota, moving forward. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Opening day, 2012. Rays and the Yankees in a one-run ball game, 6-5 New York. Jose Molina is going to open the home half of the fourth for the Rays. A full house here at the Trop. Molina takes the pitch outside, 1-0. Molina, Joyce, and Jennings due up. A 2-ball, no strike count. Now these pitchers have averaged 20 or more pitches per inning. This one outside, and it's 3-0 now to Molina. Shields has made 87 pitches through 4. Sabathia had made 60 through 3. That's 3-1 now.
And neither one of these starting pitchers has been very sharp. Goes without saying, these you're talking about two lineups too that will make you work. That's a bad combination. That's why you see the score 6-5 here in the fourth.
And now full count. Sabathia with a 3-1 off speed pitch. And it's 3-2. Ball 4. So the Rays put the leadoff man on. Let's see if we can get the answer to the Rays trivia question for the day. AT&T trivia question. Evan Longoria, second player to hit a walk-off homer to clinch a playoff berth on the final day of the regular season. The other player would be Bobby Thompson, the 1951 New York Giants. Wave and a miss by Matt Joyce. Strike one. A shot heard round the world. side. Willie Mays, who was a rookie, was on deck and later admitted that as a young player he was very nervous about the possibility that he might be the guy up there in that situation. And of course, Willie Mays had such a wonderful and great career. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and later distinguished himself quite nicely with a great Hall of Fame career. Two great comebacks in baseball history. The Rays last year and the 51 Giants. Joyce out on strikes. Off speed does him in. A little break to that one. Second time he's out on strikes on the slider.
Well, in today's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
Now Desmond Jennings. Desmond started the Rays offensive side of this game with a walk in the first. Scored on the grand slam home run. Out pitcher first in the second inning. Pops it up. Short right. Long run. Swisher come on. And he got it. Throw back to first. Skips past Teixeira. But it's backed up by Martin. Swisher had a long way to go for that one. Coming in and got there just in time.
Well, that ball hung up there for a long time, and you see Swisher deep coming in, making the nice sliding catch and almost catching Jose Molina out in no man's land. In fact, if the scoop is made there by Teixeira, this inning is over. Nice catch, great effort.
Two outs with Molina still at first after the leadoff walk. Here's Ben Zobrist. Rays have some action in the bullpen now. Ben takes a pitch too low. Ball and no strikes. There's Wade Davis loosening in the Rays bullpen. One and one. Sabathia got ahead of Zobrist 1 and 2 in the third, struck him out on a slider. Right now it's a 2-ball 1-strike count. 2 and 2. We're seeing a little more of a mix by Sabathia in his pitches here lately.
Well, you're just trying to survive at this point. Things haven't gone according to plan. I'm going to try to get deep.
And Zobrist started to go, but checked.
These are the kind of ball games right here that separate. You see that ball in. Go. That separate the good pitchers from the great ones. Is you've got to try to find a way to win the game when you don't have your good stuff.
3-2, and Zobrist with a little tap foul. So we'll see another 3-2 pitch. Yeah, this is what competing is all about. You know, it's easy to compete if you've got your great stuff. Just go out there and do your own thing, and away you go.
That's right.
But if you don't have it, now you're going to have to compete.
You've got to find a way. And we saw Sabathia go to that breaking ball early on, try to give himself another weapon.
And strike 3 call on the outside. outside corner. Zobrist caught looking. Fastball away. So we have completed 4. It's 6-5 New York. We go from Tropicana Field. Time for the Just for Men auto stop. Foolproof stat. Just as Rays can count on the right-hander James Shields, you can count on Just for Men auto stop for foolproof results. Shields, 11 complete games. He told Joe Madden last year he'd like to finish more of what he started, and he certainly did that. The 5th inning, and Russell Martin takes a pitch up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Martin, then Gardner and Jeter. Ground ball foul. 2-1. That's a strike. Squares the count at 2-2. Couple of walks, couple strikeouts for Shields. Touch for 6 runs, 9 hits. Tapped foul. And through the first 4 innings, there have been 25 New York hitters. 13 had reached base if you discount Swisher on the fielder's choice. Tapped 9 hits. We got a hit batter and just 3 walks now. Swing and a miss. Martin out on strikes. Put out goes to Pena. And we'll check in with Todd again. Todd?
Dwayne, let's look at the text poll question today, our first of the new year, and it is, how do you think the Rays will fare in 2012? Do you think they will, TB1, win the division, TB2 finish as the first wild card, TB3 finish with that second wild card, new this year, or TB4 miss the playoffs entirely? You can text your votes to 789-789 standard message and data rate supply, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Well, this entire American League East is going to be tough. Again, maybe tougher than ever. Brett Gardner. Pitch is a strike. And the Rays and the Yankees battling today the way they have in recent history anyway. They've played some tough baseball against each other. Last year they were 9-9 in the season series. 2-2 the count. 6-5 game right now in the 5th inning. Cut, little piece of it foul.
Just enough.
J.P. Howell has joined Wade Davis in the bullpen. Oh, that pitch almost came back. That's what Shields hoped would happen. Pretty close.
Yeah, very close. This ball, as it leaves his hand, gets that little run back. Shields feels good about it. Certainly close enough to call. Boy, you see that late movement. Wow.
And a liner into right. That's going to stay up enough for Stolberts. And Ben running in makes the catch. Ben charged it aggressively and got there.
And another floater. Eyes never leave the baseball.
Two outs. Here's Jeter. The pitch is low. That's 100 pitches now for Shields. Jeter has single walked and grounded out to second.
And I think you can bank on the fact this is his last inning. I'm not going to let him go too much further.
2-0. Missed by much. 3-0. Three balls and a strike. The tap, it'll be charged by Sean Rodriguez. Tough play, got it. Nice play, Rodriguez coming in, and a good, strong, accurate throw cuts down Jeter. It's a 1-2-3 fifth. Bottom half of inning 5 coming, and the Rays are down 6-5.
The Yankees clinging to a 1-run lead over the Rays. Well, fans, be sure to pick up your very own Fortune Favors the Ball t-shirt while supplies last. Proceeds benefiting Moffitt Cancer Center, All Children's Hospital, and the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. Available for a limited time only. Please visit raysbaseball.com/community for more information.
First pitch, Evan Longoria looks at a fastball for a strike. Last fastball he saw, he hit out to left. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a home run in this game. And a liner into center field, base hit. Longoria 3 for 3. He lines this fastball. He has 3 hits all off the fastball.
Well, this time going right back up the middle, and I don't think Curtis Granderson got a good read on this ball off the bat. We saw him make a nice play earlier going back. This one off the bat, he kind of freezes. See that ball right down the middle. See Granderson just kind of freeze, not real sure, decides to play it safe. Benefit of Evan Longoria.
Jeff Keppinger. He takes a strike. Keppinger is 1 out of 2. Now 7 of 16 lifetime against the left-hander Sabathia. Sabathia started this day. He's ahead of Keppinger now, 0-2. He started this day in the first by throwing more non-strikes than strikes. He made 27 pitches in the first. 15 of those were out of the strike zone. A low fly ball, short center, base hit. Longoria with a good read on his way to third. He'll make it without a play. Longoria hustles to third on the base hit by Keppinger. First and third with nobody out.
Yeah, that was a great read by Evan Longoria. This ball gets in on Keppinger. He reads it. You see barely any hesitation at all. That's the only thing that's going to allow him to get to third base on that ball. Right here, watch. Read, quick read, and then he sells out. Anything less than that, they probably get him.
So some aggressive base running, a page out of what Joe Madden wants his base runners to do. Rays very good, first to third. There's an example. Here's Sean Rodriguez. That's a strike. Sean walked intentionally in the first, singled in the third. So now it's the Rays who threaten. Puts down a bunt. Martin will go to first. Up to second base goes Keppinger. Well, the bunt was deadened so much that at the very least he advances a man up to second. But there's a situation we've seen the Rays produce runs in that situation.
Yeah, just not far enough out in front of the plate. And really, Russell Martin, see right here, this is it, just not far enough. Easy play. Russell Martin had a shot at second base, but Derek Jeter was not able to get to the bag. And that's too easy. Russell Martin out there to grab that. If Evan Longoria sells out, easy out for the Yankees. They could still work out here. Just 1 out, runners on second and third now. At least get this game tied up.
Yeah, Sean advanced a runner, but he's not happy that he didn't get a guy home from third. Now here's Carlos Pena. Pena takes a look at a low fastball.
Well, that's one of the reasons why it's the safety squeeze in that situation with first and third. You give Evan Longoria the opportunity to read that. The ball down, usually you're gone, but another good read on the base pass by Evan Longoria, realizing that ball just dribbled in front of the plate. He'd be running into a huge out and home plate. You stay put, give your team a chance.
Pena gets time granted by Joe West. Two men in scoring position. And a big cut by Pena. 1-1.
You can count on seeing more of this from Sabathia to Pena in this situation. Needs the strikeout.
And it's really been the fastball that Sabathia has been hurt on today.
Yep, and that's why Carlos Pena will not see a fastball probably anywhere near the zone.
1-2, and that one up and in a bit. He wanted a fastball. That is, Pena did, but not there.
No, absolutely not. You're going to throw him to the extremes, following the same script as the previous at-bat to Carlos Pena. After the breaking ball for a strike, come in with the fastball. This one right into Carlos's kitchen, jams him, and now you can go right back out away with that slider. It's the same thing. A hitter, make him uncomfortable. Try to get that reach swing and get the strikeout.
Too far down and away. It's 2-2. A 2-2 count. Now that fastball into Pena was reminiscent of what was it, 07 or 09, September 7th of 09, when Carlos had his hand broken on a pitch from Sabathia. Yeah, there it is. In New York, 2009. Was trying to get him out that same way then. Hit him that time. Broke his hand. Full count, 3-2. And he's out on strikes. He went with the 3-2 slider. Strikes him out for the second time today that way.
Now just a quality pitch here by Sabathia. Full count, breaking ball right to the knees on the outside corner. It's about impossible to do anything with that pitch, and if you take it, it's probably called strike 3.
Well, he has 5 strikeouts today. 4 have come on that slider like that. Here's Elliott Johnson, 2 outs with runners at second and third. Elliott takes a fastball away. Bottom of the 5th, a 1-run game. Takes a look at this one for a strike. Fastball. Two and one. The Rays led 4-0. At 4-2, then fell behind 6-4. Pulled it within a run in the third on the Longoria home run to make it 6-5, and that's where we stand in the 5th. Line drive, and it's caught by A-Rod at third. Elliott Johnson smoked one to third right at Alex Rodriguez to retire the side. We are through 5, 6-5 New York. Sabathia, his first at bat since returning to the Rays, hits a grand slam home run in the first of CC Sabathia. The Yankees scored 2 in the second and got 3 of 4 in the third on a 3-run shot by Raul Ibanez. That made it 6-4. And Evan Longoria's first home run of the year in the third has made it a 6-5 game. It is 6-5 as we go to the 6th inning now. And J.P. Howell will take over for James Shields. Shields worked 5, made 104 pitches, gives way to J.P.
J.P. 46 games last year.
First pitch to Granderson is a strike.
Very inconsistent coming back from the shoulder issues, but has looked like J.P. of old from the last couple of years ago. Good curveball, changeup, spot the fastball.
And the pitch is a strike. So we've seen the breaking ball and the fastball here to get ahead of Granderson. 0-2.
Yeah, it's always tough coming back from shoulder surgery. It can take a while.
And a little popper into shallow left, and back there Longoria, the only man on the left side of the infield on a check swing pop. Takes care of the looping liner. First out in the 6th inning.
But J.P. Howell coming into this spring said that he was stronger, felt better, has been more consistent with his delivery, his mechanics, his strength. And
well, you could see him a year ago make a pitch he wanted to make and then have a difficult time doing it again.
Right.
And we've seen more consistency so far this spring and this year. Cano looks at a strike. So J.P. is in the game in relief of Shields. 5 innings for Shields, 6 runs, 9 hits. He struck out 3 and walked 3. Cano pops it up. Elliott Johnson out there. And the pitch gets him to pop it up, and that's a nice pitch right there that came back in on Cano.
And that shows you how deceptive J.P. Howell is. I mean, Robinson Cano, well established. He's a tremendous fastball hitter, and he just got eaten up right here at 85 miles an hour. That ball gets in on him, off the label. Shows you don't have to throw 95. Locate, move the ball around. A little bit of deception, and you get outs like that. Nice job by J.P. Howell.
So Howell gets Granderson and Cano. Pitching change coming with the right-handed hitter coming up. Back in a moment. Baseball brought to you by Buddy's Home Furnishings, Checkers, Feast On, And by Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. When cancer strikes, strike back with CyberKnife and Tampa Bay Radiation Oncology. Wade Davis will be the new pitcher for the Rays here with the bases empty. 2 outs in the 6th. He's on to face Alex Rodriguez. And the pitch is inside. Well, encouraging outing there by J.P. Howell because he threw quality pitches. He made only 5 pitches, but boy, they were impressive. And a pop-up by A-Rod. Sean Rod waits and takes care of that one. 1, 2, 3, bottom of the 6th coming. 6-5 New York.
Bottom half of the 6th inning. We have the Fox Sports Florida girls. They have been around the state with other teams, but here they are watching the Tampa Bay Rays on opening day. We have Jordana to my right. We have Annie Lee to my left. Jordana, what do you think about opening day today?
We're so excited. It's our first season with the Rays with Fox's Sun Sports, and it's really exciting to be here.
Yeah, now they've been all around the stadium. They're going to be here for a lot of the season. For you, when you look at this team, Annie Lee, who do you think is the Rays breakout player of 2012?
I got to give it up to Sean Rodriguez. I mean, he's a Miami boy. I'm a Miami girl, and we're both Cuban Americans. Nice. So he's really representing out there tonight.
Nice play there in that last inning defensively. Now, like a lot of people watching, I want to know, how can people find out more about you guys? Where can they go to learn more about the Fox Sports Florida girls, and how can they interact with you?
We do have a Facebook page. You can find us at Fox Sports Florida Girls, and we also have a Twitter. It's FSFlorida_girls, and you can also find us on foxsportsflorida.com.
Yeah, we're always online. We're always talking to everybody, so make sure to write on our wall. Give us a tweet.
And guys, this is the new area here at Tropicana Field, the 162 landing, where Evan Longoria's home run landed right here. So we're going to hang out here. It's kind of a good view. I like this view from here. Back to you. Wave to the guys.
I'm not surprised that Todd's going to hang out there for a while. Are you?
I think we should go back to Todd.
Molina lifted a fly ball to left. And now Matt Joyce up here facing Sabathia. 1 strike to count. A couple of strikeouts on sliders against Sabathia. 1-1. Fox Sports Girls. Todd Callis. It's a natural.
What a fit.
Annie Lee and Jordana and Todd. Foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See? Yep. Todd is so engaging. Nonchalant, yet charming. Joyce checks right off the slider that time, and it's a 2-2 count. Sabathia with 6 strikeouts, giving up 5 runs, 7 hits. Cut the miss, so he comes back with a fastball, and Joyce is out on strikes for the 3rd time.
Gets him with the slider a couple of times, and then right here just gasses him up. 93 miles an hour, well placed. That's a tough at bat, lefty on lefty with Sabathia.
Now Desmond Jennings. Desmond looks at a strike around the knees. Texas has beaten the White Sox 3-2. Kinsler hit a home run for the Rangers. Dunn hit one for Chicago. Colby Lewis got the win. Joe Nathan the save. There's a line drive and a base hit. Jennings will round first. He's going to dig for 2. And he is. Oh, they got him. Jennings went in head first. And Cano put the tag on him. Oh, it was close down there at second base, and Andy Fletcher made the call. We'll take another look. That's the 3rd out. Very close. Oh, 6-5, New York.
Lead the Rays 6-5. Well, you can get in on the action with exclusive on-field seating in the Papa John's bullpen box. Available dates are going fast, so act now to make your group reservation behind the Rays bullpen by calling 855-GROUP-TB, or you can go online at raysbaseball.com.
And there's a true baseball experience going on for you right down there now. Wade Davis on the hill in relief for the Rays, their 3rd pitcher. He got Rodriguez to end the 6th. Starts Teixeira here in the 7th inning. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-1.
A new role here for Wade Davis, starting off a season by going to the bullpen. And the biggest adjustment that he's going to face is going out there and being mentally ready to go. And a situation like this will lock you in quick.
Rich is up 2-1. The Rays with the extreme shift on now. Elliott Johnson in shallow right field. 2-2. Davis quick with that fastball. That registered 91, but boy, it seemed quicker, didn't it?
Well, you know what? It did because of the swing by Teixeira. That ball jumped on him. I absolutely agree. That looked a little harder.
Full count.
Usually a hitter's swing will let you know. And a lot of times you match it up with the radar gun. That time it didn't mesh.
And it's upstairs. Stayed up. So Teixeira draws the walk. Well, this game right now, a one-run ball game being contested inning by inning and hitter by hitter, pitch by pitch, and that's pretty much the way things have been between the Rays and the Yankees over their last 24 games. 12-12. The Rays have actually outscored New York 107 to 105, and look at the team ERAs. Well, they've gone 12-12 in their last 24 matchups. Nick Swisher. Swisher had an infield hit his last time. Pitch is down. Oh, Wade Davis working out of the bullpen. He was 11-10 in 29 starts last year for the Rays. Two and 0, and Pena in from first base to spend a little time with him.
Allow him to refocus a little bit. You know, if Wade Davis can get past the disappointment of not being in the starting rotation from the start of the season, his stuff should actually translate very well out in the bullpen. Being a power arm, he can cut it loose for shorter periods of time.
2-0. All three. And in the absence of Farnsworth right now, as Joe Madden has said, it's going to be a matchup situation, and he would have Peralta down there and J.P. Howell maybe on occasion. He'd have some choices. McGee's another guy. But this guy right here, given enough time, Wade Davis might be the guy who could step in there. It's foul back and out of play, 3-1.
Well, I think the one thing that you can say about a Joe Madden run bullpen is that you are going to carve out your own role. You may not start out at the back end of the bullpen, but if you are a middle inning guy and you come in and you're throwing the ball well, getting big outs, Joe is not afraid to start creeping you towards that back end. So everybody's going to get an opportunity. It's going to depend on how they perform out on that mound.
Yeah, Fernando Rodney has a big arm, and he's a guy who might get a shot or two. There he is. But Wade Davis, here's the thing about Wade. Wade right now is making his first relief appearance ever in pro baseball, minor league or major leagues. 64 big league appearances, 64 starts, 138 minor league appearances, 138 starts. So it's brand new for him. 3-2, runner goes. Pitch skied into left. Joyce is there to catch it. Teixeira turns around and heads back to first. Swisher's retired. One out. And there's Rafael Soriano loosening in the bullpen now for New York. Burke Badenhop is up for the Rays. He's been up before. Ibanez, the DH, and Jake McGee has just joined Badenhop down there, and you see he's starting to get loose. One ball, no strikes. Strike. 1-1. You know, there have been some guys back and forth between the bullpen and the rotation. Ken Forsch did it in Houston. John Smoltz did a pretty good job of that. This one is high.
Well, really, it boils down to accepting your role and then following, fall into a routine. Being down in the bullpen is different from a starter. You've got your 20, 25 minutes to go out and, run a little bit, loosen up your arm, play some long toss. You are not afforded that luxury down in the bullpen, so you need to come up with a routine down there that works for you. It allows you to get ready quickly.
Cut and a miss on a fastball. Yeah, that one by Ibanez.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're going to see from Wade Davis and guys coming out of the bullpen. You come out attacking. You don't have a whole lot of time to get into a rhythm and ease into a game. You've got to come in firing high-quality stuff right from the get-go.
Now the 2-2. Liner into right field. Zobrist is there to make the catch. So Ibanez retired. 2 away with Teixeira still at first, and the hitter is going to be Russell Martin. And here comes Joe Madden. Madden with an eye toward the bullpen, and he wants the sinker baller. We'll be back in a moment.
The Rays down a run will get suited up for this season at the official online shop of the Rays with the largest selection of authentic gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get set for the season. The official source, the RaysBaseball.com shop.
Badenhop gets a ground ball to third, and Longoria has trouble with it, will not make a play. Well, Badenhop threw the ground ball, and that's what the Rays hope that he'll do a lot of this year. And that'll be an error charged to Longoria.
Well, we saw the line drive earlier in the game where Evan Longoria mistimed his jump and the ball clanked off the glove, and this was a nice candy hop there, backhand, but up nice and high there, thigh high, just not able to make the play. Another clank.
Well, that's going to be it for Badenhop. McGee, the lefty, on his way in.
7th inning. Well, this week, Fox Saturday Baseball returns as the Red Sox head to Detroit to take on Prince Fielder and the Tigers, or the defending World Series champion Cardinals head to Milwaukee to take on reigning NL MVP Ryan Braun and the Brewers. Fox Saturday Baseball returns this week at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central, beginning with our all-new pregame show that covers all the big stories and gets you ready for the first pitch on Fox. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area.
Well, the Rays want the 25-year-old left-hander Jake McGee in here to face Brett Gardner's left-handed bat. He is pitcher number 5. Badenhop made one pitch and got the ground ball, but it was misplayed by Longoria. And you see the numbers last year for McGee. Pitch, fastball misses. Jake McGee, drafted by the Rays in 04. Signed with the Rays, foregoing scholarship opportunity at the UNLV. One and one to count. Yankees have out-hit the Rays by 1, and they've outscored them by 1. We're in the top of the 7th. Two balls and a strike. Teixeira walked. He's at second. Martin reached on the error. He's at first. McGee is behind. It's now 3 balls and a strike. Gardner 0 for 3 lifetime against McGee, but he's up in the count right now. Walked him. So McGee gives up the pass. That's going to load the bases and get Jeter, the top of the order, to the plate.
A huge at bat here for Jake McGee. You cannot let the Yankees extend this lead any further with what they have at the back end of that bullpen. You know they're wanting to go Soriano, Robertson, and then Rivera. Got to stop this right now.
Jeter singled and walked, officially 1 for 3. Shoots it foul. Jeter up there looking fastball and got it. Was late. Fouled it up the right side. Shields for 5. Howell 2/3. Davis an inning. Badenhop 1-hitter. Fastball up, mid-90s. 1-1. 2 fastballs have been 94 and 95 here to Jeter.
And Jake McGee understands the magnitude of this situation, rearing back for a little bit extra.
And he hits strike 2 on a fastball. 1-2.
This wasn't the best location by Jake, but just overpowered him.
The Yankees left the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. They left them loaded in the 4th. They've loaded them again here in the 7th inning. 2 up the right side. That's going to veer foul out of play. Couple of walks and an error. Bases loaded. McGee a strike away from getting out of this. And the tough veteran Jeter up there. Two balls, 2 strikes. Joe Madden taking the controls here in the last couple of innings with these pitching changes. Two now. Here it is. Ground ball, shortstop. Rodriguez with the throw to first to retire the side, and for the 3rd time today, New York will leave the bases loaded. 7th inning stretch time. 6-5 New York. Rays open the scoring on the Carlos Pena grand slam in the first. The Yankees with 2 in the second and 4 in the third. A 3-run shot by Raul Ibanez gave them the lead, and the Rays got another run in the third on the home run by Longoria. Sabathia is gone. So the New York starter Sabathia worked 6 innings.
Now Sabathia able to settle the game down through the middle innings, get the breaking ball working, got a little bit better with the fastball command, something that he struggled with early on. Evan Longoria 3 hits off of that fastball. Obviously Carlos Pena with the big grand slam off the misplaced fastball, and this is what you see. Exactly like we drew it up, Dwayne, huh?
That's exactly what we thought. How about that?
You're coming into this game.
2 guys.
That's right. You're thinking 2 hours and 20 minutes in a 2-1, 3-2 ball game. Not to be.
Well, we thought it might be close, but not this way. And Rafael Soriano is the new pitcher. Ben Zobrist will face him. Soriano spent that 1 big year with the Rays. And now Zobrist takes a pitch down and in from him. The slider. And the Rays got 5 runs. 5 runs and 8 hits off Sabathia.
Well, the one thing that the bullpen has done the last couple of innings is keep the Rays within striking distance. Just one poorly placed pitch from tying this ball game up.
To strike the Zobrist, it's now 2-1.
And you give yourselves a chance. You know you're going to probably be going against Soriano, Robertson, Rivera, 3 tough customers.
And a strike, 2-2. How about this? Sabathia made 104 pitches, and Shields made 104 pitches. 6 runs allowed by Shields, 5 by Sabathia. Zobrist tried to check. He did not. Zobrist got the slider and could not check.
Yeah, good finishing slider there by Soriano. Got a couple of calls on some borderline fastballs, and then in protect mode again. Just not recognizing it. A little bit too far there.
Now here's Evan Longoria. Evans 3 for 3 today. 3 hits off 3 Sabathia fastballs, including a home run in the 3rd. He takes a fastball for a ball from Rafael Soriano. Batting with the bases empty and 1 out. Luke Scott, by the way, is on deck now. Keppinger started as the DH, and Scott is now on deck. It's low, 3-0. Strike taken. It's 3-1. And a pop foul back. That's going to be out of play. A 3-1 fastball, and Longoria tried to pull the trigger on it, fouled it back. Ball 4. The slider 3-2 and walked him. So the Rays get a base runner with 1 out in the 7th. And Luke Scott will pinch hit for Keppinger. Scott on to face the right-hander. Scott in an abbreviated season because of the shoulder problem. With Baltimore last year, 64 games and 9 home runs, but he averaged 25 home runs over there. He is 1 of 5 lifetime against Soriano. The pitch is a strike.
We have seen this strike zone from Joe West start to widen a little bit because that was pretty generous right there.
It's getting late. 1 strike the count. One ball, 1 strike.
And you see exactly what Soriano and Martin are doing. Say, listen, if you're going to give us a few inches off the plate, we're going to see what the limit is.
Yep.
Saw how far off the plate Martin was sitting there. Now look at that. I mean, why not? If they're going to give it to you, keep creeping out there.
Longoria back in at first. Got a good look at that one down and in, laying off a slider. 2 balls and a strike.
And here's the breaking ball. Politely disagree with Fox Track to look like a ball out of the hand.
How could you dare disagree with technology?
I did it very humbly.
3-1. Something to do with algorithms.
Well, after my brain science comment, I can't really compute that.
3-1 the count. About proving a fastball here. And a foul ball back. He got a fastball. Fouls it. It's 3-2.
Luke Scott talked about during the course of spring training, coming back from that shoulder injury, wanted to be able to trust his hands. He thought that was the key to his swing, is to keep his body quiet, trust his hands to get through the zone. That pitch right there was a 3-1 fastball. Looked like he was just a little bit tardy on it.
3-2. And a ground ball to first. Teixeira steps on the bag. Tag play in order at second. And Jeter tags out Longoria on the 3-6 double play. We're going to go into the 8th. 6-5 New York. The 8th inning, and let's take a look at today's Home Depot doing more on defense, and the Yankees have put together some good defensive work. Jennings, this popper into shallow right, and Swisher made a fine play right there. Then it was Desmond again with a base hit to left in the 6th inning, and Gardner threw a strike to get him at second base. And as difficult as those plays may seem, this is not an easy play for Teixeira on the double play, because he's got to throw over Longoria's left shoulder to the bag at second on a tag play, and that is a very difficult play to make. The Yankees have displayed some good defensive work here in this game this afternoon. We go to the 8th. Curtis Granderson will lead off. Cano and then Rodriguez due to follow with Jake McGee on the mound. So a couple of left-handed bats, and then Alex Rodriguez and Joel Peralta is throwing in the bullpen now for the Rays. Granderson takes one inside. There's Peralta. He was a busy man last year out of the Rays bullpen, and a big part of their success. 2-0. Fastball back. 2 balls and a strike. It's a 2-2 count. Baltimore's home against Minnesota. Their opener, and the Orioles have a 4-2 lead. They led 4-0 going into the 9th. And the Twins have put up a couple runs in the 9th inning to make it 4-2. Swing and a miss. Granderson is out on strikes. That was a nice slider right there from McGee.
Now, this Major League Baseball on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support the Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where you can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports.
Robinson Cano. Cano 2 for 4. That's a popper. Jennings coming in now. Zobrist, and who's going to get it? Boy, they crisscross, and Zobrist over from right. Well, there was a moment of indecision there, and Zobrist took charge. Normally you'd see the center fielder take charge out there, but Zobrist grabbed it. So 2 outs here in the 8th. There it is. You can see. Well, you don't want to give up on something like that and have that fall in. And Zobrist wound up making the catch. Pitching change now. The right-handed bat of Rodriguez. We'll be back in a moment. Sellout crowd opening day here tomorrow night. A sellout as well. Second game of the 3-game series against New York. A 1-run ball game here, and the Rays call upon Joel Peralta, pitcher number 6. Shields work the front 5, and Peralta's on to face Alex Rodriguez. In there for a strike. Rodriguez doubled and scored in the 2nd, singled and scored in the 3rd. He walked in the 4th and popped out to short his last time. Off the plate. 1-1. Rays with 2 shots left. Sabathia worked the front 6. Soriano worked the 7th. Robertson is up. He's been up in the bullpen. Got a fastball by him.
And Peralta here coming with the heat, keeping that ball in the outer half. To get it over the top of the bat of Alex Rodriguez.
On and 2 now. Into the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This one drops a little low, and the count is going to be full. A couple of split fingers back to back, and this one tantalizing.
Boy, that's the one that he wanted to pitch before. Alex Rodriguez got to look at the one before further down. That one just off the plate.
3-2. Lost him. Came back with another one. So Alex Rodriguez draws a walk. And now it'll be Teixeira. Well, Rodriguez had never gotten a hit off Peralta. He's 0 for 8, but Teixeira is 2 for 5 with a home run. So another challenge right here for Peralta and the Rays to get Teixeira. Teixeira takes that for a strike. Well-placed fastball there to get the count running in his favor. Rodriguez has walked. Is at first. This has been a 6-5 game since the 3rd. Rays led 4-0, 4-2, trailed 6-4, now trails 6-5. One and one. And he gets another strike. Doing the split that time that found the zone. 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was a good one there by Peralta. Pull the string a little bit. This one acting more like a straight change. He'll use that split finger 2 different ways. He'll throw it for a strike in a count like that. Now if he wants to go back to it, try to get the bottom to drop out of it and get the chase swing.
Big shift on for Teixeira. Man at first, 2 outs. Just a check on Alex Rodriguez.
When you see in that shift how extreme the Rays are willing to go, Elliott Johnson is way out into right field. See him way out here, almost out of your picture. Long throw.
Popper the other way. That's going to be foul and will wind up in the stands back to third. Sheriff that time staying alive against the split. Price and Kuroda tomorrow night here. It's a 7:10 first pitch. And then Pellickson and Hughes on Sunday. There's David Price.
Yeah, we just saw that meeting there between Molina and Peralta, and usually when a meeting's called like that mid at bat, it's the pitcher doing all the talking to the catcher on what he wants to do. You can see Peralta's mouth move too much there. Molina telling him what he thinks they ought to do.
And it's down. Teixeira took the breaking pitch down, and the count is 2-2. Here it is.
Trying to drop it on that outside corner.
Oh, look at him loading up away. Just trying to find a little bit of that strike zone. And a tap foul. Still 2-2. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat. Again, tried to find that breaking pitch on the outside part. A little wide out there, and the count is full.
Just pulled off that curveball a little bit, left it up and away. You got to come with something that looks good right here.
(3-2) and a pop foul that's going to carry out of play. A fastball there, 3-2. Two again, and a high fly ball deep to right down the line. Is it going to be fair? That's a foul ball. Teixeira had home run distance but pulled it foul. Carried his bat to first base, trying to apply a little English with the bat, but it was foul.
This ball definitely going to be deep enough.
Teixeira checking it out down the line. So we'll see it again. The 10th pitch of the at bat is low for ball 4. Well, Peralta very careful to Teixeira. So he's walked Rodriguez and Teixeira. Now the hitter's going to be Swisher, and Jim Hickey's going to go out to have a conversation with Peralta. So the Rays talk it over. As soon as our game is concluded, Rays Live, the post game presented by Checkers. It includes Joe Madden's press conference, interviews from the clubhouse. As Todd and Orestes break down this game on Rays Live, the post game presented by Checkers, immediately following the conclusion of our action here.
I think Jim Hickey's going out there to tell Joel Peralta, listen, trust your stuff, attack the strike zone, and let's get out of this inning. last two at-bats there between Rodriguez and Teixeira, every pitch that Peralta made, he was trying to make the perfect pitch right on the corner. It didn't work out.
Two men on with 2 men out. Here's Nick Swisher. Swisher has an infield hit today. A little dribbler in front of the plate. Swings over the split. Strike one. Swisher with that big swing. And Peralta in the past has taken advantage of that.
Well, and Swisher's also looking at, okay, he's walked the last two hitters, got a visit by the pitching coach, probably telling him, let's get in the zone, attack this guy. Swisher's a good fastball hitter. He took a good swing at what he thought was a fastball there. That's why he came up empty. And that, you're right, Wayne, that's a good pitch for Peralta in this matchup because Swisher is a fastball hunter.
The 0-1 pitch. And it's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. So split followed by a curveball. Josh Lukey coming over from Seattle. The 1-1 swing and a miss. That was a split that appeared to stay up. And it's 1-2. Let's take another look.
Yes, this was a hanger. But you see how geared up for the fastball Swisher is. He saw that up in the zone. Last thought on his mind was that was a split finger or anything off speed. He came out of his shoes.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Peralta delivers up and away. Well, he threw him a fastball there, but made sure it was up and out of the strike zone.
And almost tried to do it with a quick pitch. Barely came set there. I mean, hands down to the waist, and he was off. Try to do anything you can to take the hitter out of his rhythm.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And it's down. So Swisher laid off, and the count is full. Two outs. Rodriguez second. Teixeira at first. Both runners will be off with the pitch. And a tap foul. So we'll do it again on 3-2. Not much margin for error with what the Yankees will give you late out of their bullpen. 1-run game right now. Three and 2. For the second time, the 3-2 pitch. And he got it. He struck him out through a fastball. Fastball takes care of Swisher. That retires the side. 2 men left on base. Bottom of the 8th coming, 6-5 New York. Great expectations for the Rays this year. They're down by a run here as we go into the bottom of the 8th, 6-5 New York. It has been that way since the 3rd. Joel Peralta got out of a spot in the top half of the inning. Right now, let's check in with Laura McKeeman again. She's going to be here, Laura, almost every home game, right?
Oh, yes. I'm very excited. I'll be here for about 50 games. And, Dwayne, as you mentioned, the great expectations. Now, our Game Connect has lots of great expectations as well. Follow us on Twitter. It's at Sun Sports Rays. I've had a great time tweeting with you all. And actually, we've had a little bit of a foreign presence on our Twitter. At El Hivo is tweeting all the way from Finland. And he says, go Rays. We've got a lot of love for Carlos Pena and his homecoming. And, of course, many of you excited about the giveaways that we're going to have on Twitter. So make sure you stay on at Sun Sports Rays. We've got a Twitter giveaway coming up on our pregame show tomorrow when we go outside. Guys?
All righty. David Robertson, the new pitcher for New York. Sean Rodriguez leading off here. 1 strike to count. Carlos Pena next. And then Elliott Johnson due up. 1-1. So if they're watching in Finland, they'll be interested in making sure they stick around for the Carlos Pena at bat. Twitter action from Finland, apparently.
Our European sweep is almost complete.
2-1, very continental. Rays need a couple of runs against a tough New York bullpen. Rodriguez lifts a foul pop. It's out of play.
We got a quick peek at David Robertson's numbers from last year. He's one of just 3 pitchers that have recorded 100 or more strikeouts in less than 70 innings to go with a 170 average. He was absolutely dominant last year with those 100 strikeouts and 66, just over 66 innings pitched.
2-2. That's upstairs. So the count is full.
And that's what's going to be the challenge in facing this Yankee ball club 18 times this year, is with what they have at the back end of the rotation. If they're throwing the ball well and they're healthy, they can effectively make it a 6-inning ball game. So you had better score early.
And ball 4. Fastball wide. Leadoff man aboard. Sean Rodriguez draws the walk. That's going to get Carlos Pena up there, and we'll take a look at the Burger King in-game box score. Jennings 1 for 3. Longoria 3 for 3 with a home run. The big blow, the home run by Pena, grand slam. He is 1 for 3. The Rays with 5 runs, 8 hits on the day. And Carlos Pena accounting for 4 of those runs with 1 swing of the bat in the first. He went 1 for 3 against Sabathia. Now the pitch. Carlos takes it a bit high. 1-0. Carlos went to 3-2. Against Sabathia and hit a fastball out.
That ball at the belt, right out over the middle of the plate. That's exactly what Carlos Pena in this situation right here is looking for from David Robertson. He's got a big fastball. It'll sneak up on you, and Carlos Pena is sitting there waiting for it as we speak.
2 balls, no strikes. Martin heads to the mound. Robertson out of Alabama. Two and all the count. And he gets a strike off the fastball. piece of the zone right there. And now the count's going to go to 3 balls and a strike.
A little cut fastball here by Robertson. Looked like it was all over the zone.
Yes, it was.
It fooled Joe West. I mean, no question. That ball down the middle. You know, umpires got to stay with the pitch, too, and sometimes they can assume, okay, fastball off the plate, that little late cutting action catches them by surprise.
Runner goes, and the pitch hit on the ground through the left side. Rodriguez will go to third. And the Rays put men at first and third with nobody out. Pena 3-1, got one on the ground through the left side of the infield.
Unselfish hitting right there by Carlos Pena. He's up in the count, 3-1. Instead of trying to do too much, he gets a ball away and just stays with it. He stayed back on that ball very well and hit a hard ground ball in that big hole that they gave him. Nicely done.
So the Rays put the potential tying run at third, the lead run at first with nobody out. Elliott Johnson is due, but Stephen Vogt will pinch hit for him. Vogt, 17 home runs in the minor leagues last year. And he's shown a good bat since the Rays drafted him. He's hit over 300 in his minor league career with some pop. So Vogt making his major league debut. Facing David Robertson, a tough right-hander. Strike one.
Get it started early. And David Robertson came right after him with the four-seamer there and blew it right by him. That first swing out of the way and then go to hitting. Big opportunity here for Vogt and the Rays.
And the foul ball back. That one cutting in on his hands. 2 strikes the count. Vogt with a four-seamer and that cutter and then a very good curveball. He's got a good arsenal.
He does, and he's got him set up now for that fastball away that's up in the zone to try to get a chase out of it.
And it's down and in. He started to go, but he checked.
Well, the way that he decides to go with the curveball there, and we see here from the side, definitely held up. But boy, after that first fastball that he threw by him and the kind of the uppercut swing that Vogt took, he was able to get it over the bat. That may be an area that he looks to exploit here.
And a swing and a miss. He went with that fastball up and got it by him. Robertson notches a strikeout.
Now that's the tough thing as a hitter. When you see that four-seam fastball that's up in the zone, that ball's right out over the plate, but it's up close to the eyes. So you see the whole baseball. It looks big. You think to yourself you can catch up to it. As you can see right there, you put a little heat on it and you can. Too high to even spoil.
And Jose Molina will be the hitter. Sean Rodriguez third. Pena at first. First and third, one out. Wouldn't be beyond the Rays to try to put down a bunt to get the tying run home. First pitch taken for a strike, a fastball.
This will have everything to do with how Joe Madden feels about Jose Molina and how he can handle the bat. He's got confidence in him. This is the perfect situation for it.
Fielder takes off from first, and the pitch is foul back. 0-2. Pena will head back to first. Rodriguez walked. He went to third on the base hit by Pena. Both pinch hitting is struck out. Now 2 strikes the count to Molina. And the pitch is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Molina with a look at Foley.
What you'll see a lot of pitchers here do, you're ahead of Molina, you throw the fastball up near the eyes, he doesn't chase it, you come right back with the breaking ball. Let him see that ball out over the plate, bottom drops out.
There they go on a swing and a foul ball back, and Rodriguez was coming down the line as Molina took a full cut, and Joe Madden with his hands on his hips over there.
Now here he comes. Boy, that is scary if you're Sean Rodriguez. Check the signs, fellas.
So Molina took a full cut, 1-2, fouling it back. They're coming again, and the bunt attempt is foul. So Rodriguez coming down the line, and Molina bunted it foul. The Rays did try to get the tying run home on the bunt play.
And with 2 strikes. Bold move there by Joe Madden, but he gives Molina a couple chances with the swing. And then here, they put it on. They're finally all on the same page. It's just not executed. Sat back in the box, did not get the bat out in front of the plate, was not in good position. He was reaching for that ball, and that ball caught a lot of plate.
Well, here's Matt Joyce. Matt 0 for 3 on the day. All of that against Sabathia. And he's late right there. Strike 1. Well, Joe Madden even with 2 strikes. Molina got down 0-2, took that high pitch, and then fouled off 1 pitch that had Rodriguez coming down on a full cut. Joyce pops it foul. That's going to carry out a play.
And it's easy to look back in hindsight now, but that would have been the much easier pitch to try to bunt the way that he was set up. That ball was a little bit further up in the zone. He wouldn't have been reaching for it. Who's to say what would have happened, but the sign, he did not get the sign or missed the sign, and then missed the attempt.
The 0-2 away. Fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sabathia, Soriano, and Robertson. Robertson has made 23 pitches here in the 8th. The pitch fouled. Pitch coming in on Joyce, and he managed to foul it away. Robertson gives you about the same velocity on the cutter as he does the 4-seam.
And he does a tremendous job of hiding the baseball. Stands up nice and tall, and that ball just shoots out of his shoulder with some giddy up on it. It's so tough for these hitters to pick it up. You know, you see him beat guys, and these guys can hit 93, 94, 95 mile-an-hour fastballs, but they're consistently beat by it because he does such a great job of hiding that pitch, and it just jumps on you. Then throws that little bit of a wrinkle of a cutter and keeps that velocity high. Something else to think about.
We'll be with you tomorrow. The pregame comes your way at 6:30. Kuroda and Price, the pitching matchup. A 1-2 pitch again. And he's out of there on strikes. A little something extra on that one away and got him. Struck out the side, and we go to the ninth. It's 6-5 New York. Welcome to the opening week of baseball, presented by Burger King. (6-5). We go to the ninth inning. Changes for the Rays. Fernando Rodney is the new pitcher. So the sixth bullpen entry following Shields. So 7 pitchers for the Rays. And defensive changes as well. Get to those in a moment. Raul Ibanez is going to lead it off here in the ninth for New York. And the pitch is inside. Ben Zobrist is now at second, moving in from right field. Matt Joyce takes over in right, replacing Zobrist. There's a strike. And Vogt is in left field. Joyce departs that spot. Vogt pinch hitting in the bottom of the 8th for Johnson, who's out of the game. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Ibanez has driven in 4 runs today, one with a ground ball and the other a 3-run home run. 2-2. Three innings of relief work from the bullpen. No hits, no runs, 4 walks, and a couple strikeouts in the mix. Pop foul. Out of play, and the count is still 2-2. back over the mound. Rodriguez from shortstop. Ibanez is the first out of the ninth.
That was almost a double clutch swing there by Ibanez on the changeup from Rodney. Here it is. Kind of waiting back. Try to stay on that pitch and take it up the middle, but Sean Rodriguez able to cut it off and get the Rays their first out.
And a first pitch fastball is in there. A strike call to Martin.
Well, with Fernando Rodney, he keeps things pretty simple. Tilt the hat a little bit so you're not really sure where he's looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then pick the foot up and put it down. Give you the mid-90s gas, the changeup down the low 80s. Keeps it pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah, the cap is a big part of the deception.
Yeah. Can make hitters uncomfortable in a lot of different ways.
1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Well, the Rays like his power arm. Andrew Friedman was saying he can beat hitters in and out of the strike zone. And it's a matter then of a semblance of command. And that changeup in relation to the hard stuff. Very good. Broken bat. Past Rodney going to be picked up by Zobrist. And with the catcher Martin running, Zobrist had a little more time. That comebacker almost fielded Rodney.
Well, they're prime example of being able to beat a guy in. That power fastball, this just saws off Martin. Nice job by Zobrist to charge that, make a nice play. And really the at bat before with Ibanez, that shows you the respect that you have to have for that power arm, because that was a changeup that was basically thigh high, middle of the plate. That was a hanger, and still had Ibanez fooled, and he's able to get an out of it.
2 outs. Here's Brett Gardner. Gardner running up on that pitch, but did not offer.
I thought that looked like a strike on the pitch. Forget about whether he went or not. That ball looked like it was all over the plate.
Let's take a look at the Fox track to begin with. Boy, that's a great pitch.
I mean, where do you want it? That's not even borderline.
How about that one? 2-0.
It's almost like you're being penalized for missing your spot, even though the ball's over the plate.
Take a look at that. Wow. It's 2-0. You couldn't prove that by Fox track.
This is an instance that I would agree with Fox tracks. Those were absolutely 2 very good pitches. Count should be flipped. That's a good visit there to the mound. Fernando Rodney, you don't want to get him too riled up, because those were strikes. Calm him down, realize, listen, they didn't go your way. You got to forget that and move forward. Figure out a way from this count.
Now it's 3-0 to Gardner. Rodney wants a new baseball and gets one from Joe West. Mariano Rivera right now standing in the bullpen for the Yankees. And a strike call. Rays due to have the top of the order up in the bottom of the 9th. And that's a strike. So the count is full. Gardner called out on strikes. Rays will have Jennings, Zobrist, and Longoria doing the bottom of the ninth, down by 1.
And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Back at Tropicana Field before a sellout crowd of 34,078. 6-5. New York leading the Rays. The Rays with the top of the order due up here in the bottom of the ninth inning against Mariano Rivera, 42-year-old right-hander. 44 of 49 last year. The all-time saves leader. They were saying this past January that he'd made a decision about whether he was going to retire or not. The decision's made. He's not telling anybody, though. So let's see what the Rays can do here in the bottom of the ninth. 603 career saves.
60 of those saves have come against this Tampa Bay Ray franchise.
Desmond Jennings takes the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Well, they'll get mostly that cutter. A fastball, but that cutter is all the difference.
Absolutely deadly, and he's done it for this long and been that effective with, like you said, Dwayne, basically just one pitch, and everybody in the stadium knows that's what you're going to get. He will mix in a little two-seamer, a little fastball that runs here and there, but it is that cutter. The deception must be out of this world.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The one thing that Rivera does so well is he understands how to pitch, how to use that pitch, and he is deadly accurate with it.
And a ground ball, base hit up the middle. Rays put the leadoff man aboard. Desmond Jennings on for the 3rd time, picking up his 2nd hit of the day. And it's a leadoff single to center.
Well, Desmond Jennings, a nice job here of cutting down on the swing with 2 strikes. Getting a ball that's out over the plate, just trying to put it in play. You see that? Almost just like he was playing pepper. That ball stayed up in the zone, and he just poked it through the middle.
That'll be Ben Zobrist against Rivera. With Jennings aboard, Zobrist steps in. Ben is 2 for 2 lifetime against Mariano Rivera. on the first pitch. Triples up the alley into right center field. Scoring Jennings, and it's a 6-6 ball game.
We mentioned that Mariano Rivera, out of the 603 saves, 60 have come against the Rays out of 61 opportunities. The last blown save against the Rays was back in 2005, and he leaves another cutter out over the plate. Ben Zobrist now makes it 3 for 3. Desmond Jennings with the read, and then forget it. That ball going to the wall, you're not gonna stop Jennings from scoring with that speed.
Now Longoria's up. They're going to walk him intentionally. Of course, his run wouldn't mean anything. The Rays have just tied it against Rivera. This will be the 5th time today that Longoria has reached 2 singles, a homer, 2 walks. This one an intentional walk. So Evan heads to first, and Luke Scott the hitter, and they'll walk him too.
Yeah, give yourself an opportunity to force out at any bag. That's really your only option here with nobody out.
Luke with a couple career hits, including a home run and 15 at bats, but they'll walk him as well. So they will walk the bases loaded with Sean Rodriguez due to follow Scott. Jennings opened with a base hit and was promptly tripled home by Zobrist to tie the game. Scott heads to first. Longoria pushed up to second. Girardi heads to the mound.
Maybe going with an extra infielder here. Yeah, they're bringing somebody in. Nick Swisher looks like.
That's exactly what they're going to do. So the Rays trying to get to Rivera and end it here in the bottom of the 9th inning. That's Eduardo Nunez. So Nunez comes into the game. So the infield fully manned. Nunez right there at second base. The infield close. 2 drawn-in outfielders. Sean Rodriguez in the batter's box. And the pitch is inside.
Well, if you're Sean Rodriguez, you want to get something up in the zone, especially early in the count. Be patient. Rivera's missed up there a couple of times already. Get something to the outfield. End this game.
And a pop-up foul. That's going to be out of play. The count is 1-1. So the Yankees have Rodriguez and Jeter close left side, and now Nunez has pulled in on the edge of the turf. Not exactly up the middle. Cano and Teixeira close right side. 1-1 to Sean Rodriguez. Ball 2. 2-1. Rivera to Rodriguez. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. A 6-6 game. Bases loaded. 3-1 to Sean Rodriguez, and a big cut and a miss. The count is full.
Boy, Sean Rodriguez knows missed opportunity there. Cut fastball all over the plate. High, maybe it'd been ball 4. That ball was up near the letters.
Sean 0 for 4 lifetime against Rivera. He's just looking for some good contact here. 3-2, and he strikes out. So Rivera comes back to strike out Sean Rodriguez. That's the first out of the inning.
Well, here it is. Much to say about that. That ball all over the plate, little cut to it. Sean just missed it.
Well, there is Carlos Pena, who hit the grand slam in the first. Had a base hit through the left side in the 8th. He's 2 for 4. And nothing of 11. As you see there, he was hit by a pitch once by Rivera. And he takes a strike.
No reason to think that Mariano Rivera is going to leave that area right there. If he can backdoor that cutter at the knees, see a steady diet of those.
And he shot that same spot. Missed. It's 1-1.
That's the more traditional fastball there. Slight tail.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nunez on the right side of second base here with Pena up there. All close on the infield. And a high fly ball back into left. Gardner's going to have to chase it. That ball is off the bottom of the wall, and the Rays win it. Carlos Pena, who gave the Rays the initial lead with a grand slam in the first, ends it with a fly ball over Gardner's head off the bottom of the wall back into left center. And the Rays have pulled it out with 2 in the ninth. 7-6 the final. The Rays celebrate the season opener with a comeback victory. Scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning of Mariano Rivera, and they've beaten the New York Yankees 7-6. Jennings single, Keaton, a triple by Zobrist, and with the bases loaded and 1 out, Carlos Pena drives in the winning run. Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And here's why. Well, how about that to open the season? Zobrist making sure, just in case it was caught, there was no play anyway, and it was over Gardner's head. The Rays win it 7-6. Fernando Rodney is going to get the win. Rivera the loss before 34,078. Three hours and 44 minutes, the time of this game. The Rays leave 10. The Yankees leave 12. 3 times in this game, the Yankees left the bases loaded. You just aren't allowed to win a game if you leave the bases loaded 3 times, even if Mariano Rivera is your closer. And the Rays pick up An opening victory here, 7-6 right now. Let's go to the field and Todd Kalish.
Well, Carlos, what a return. This is about as good a storybook ending as it could be for your first game back, huh?
You know, this is great, man. We were battling the whole game, and just to end it this way against one of the best closer in the game ever, it's definitely a great win for us.
603 career saves. You had never had a hit against him. Were you aware of that when you stepped in there?
Oh, yeah. Very aware of it. No, man, he's awesome. He's unbelievable. And, you know, I was just trying to get a pretty good pitch to hit, but, you know, his ball moves so much that it's just your eyes lie to you. You know, what your eyes see is truly not what's happening. So I think that's why he's so good.
Another guy that you got today that has given you problems in the past, CC Sabathia. Take us through that first at bat. You get to the bases loaded in a full count situation.
You know, CC, you know, just like you said, very tough on lefties, very tough on me. And I was trying to calm myself down. It was a situation where, you know, bases loaded. I wanted.
B.J. Upton.
I went ahead and let him do it. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's we'll let you clean up there, but Sabathia, you get the grand slam and right away. When I was watching the introductions, I knew there'd be a huge ovation for certain guys. I think the biggest ovation was for you. What does it mean for you to be back here?
You know, this is truly special. You know, I don't take this for granted one bit. I truly appreciate it to the max. You know, when I was running to the line and I heard, you know, everyone just, you know, giving me all the love, you know, obviously it's something that I appreciate greatly. And it's a blessing just to be back. And it's a blessing to be respected, to be appreciated. That's why I go out every single day and just give it all I have.
Even though you were gone last year, does it almost feel like you never left?
Absolutely. I mean, it's very comfortable. I feel very comfortable here. You know, the people, you know, the fans, the area, and of course my teammates, they make it easy. It's like I never left.
The crowd's going to erupt as soon as you leave. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you very much.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. The Rays, by the way, were 2 of 11 with men in scoring position today, and Pena had both those hits as he drives in 5 with the grand slam and then the winning hit, chasing home Zobrist and giving the Rays the victory in the bottom of the 9th over New York and Mariano Rivera. We'll be back in just a moment. Our South Florida audience will depart now. The Miami Heat are in action, and they'll go to that coverage of Miami Heat basketball. Stay with us. We'll have more coverage. We'll wrap it up here and then have our post game from Tropicana Field, where 34,000 plus witnessed the Rays come back and defeat the New York Yankees. Back in a moment.